All right, every week I post 4 tape diagram Tuesday problems and then I follow it up with the answers. Here are the answers. Now, first off, what's the purpose of these 4 problems? The purpose of these 4 problems, an early elementary, upper elementary, middle, and then a challenge problem, is to give you repeated weekly practice on how do you model your thinking of these math problems using tape diagrams. Yeah, we could use abstract numbers and algorithms and algebra, but really the key is to teach us through repeated practice how to model our thinking with tape diagrams so that we can then really have a deep understanding of the algorithms that are at play. So let's get started on this. And we're going to start with the early elementary problem. Maria has 5 apples. Gloria has 3 more than Maria. So Maria and Gloria are our 2 characters. And we're going to start by drawing them both the exact same tape diagram. But then it says Gloria has 3 more than Maria. So I'm just going to extend that. And we know that this piece right here is equal to 3. Now we go back and it says Maria has 5 apples. So we know that this piece right here is 5. And then we also know this piece is 5 because we initially drew them both to be the exact same. Now it says how many apples do they have in total? And that is right here. That is where the answer lives. And of course we could see that the answer is 5 plus 5 plus 3, which is 13 apples. All right, there we go for our early elementary. All right, let's go to the upper elementary. So Erica has 5 cookies. Laura has twice as many cookies. So we have 2 characters. Again, we have Erica and we have Laura as our 2 characters. Erica has 5 cookies. Now I'm just going to draw them both as the same tape diagram. All right, give them the same equal length, and we know that Erica has 5. So there is 5, which means this down here is also 5. And then it says Laura has twice as many cookies as Erica, which means we're going to have another tape right here with another 5. How many do they have all together? So the answer lives there. And our answer is 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 15 cookies. All right. And now the middle school. So Robin eats 1/6 of a bag of popcorn. Stacy eats half of what is left. There is now 85 grams. Now I see 2 characters, but I'm not going to make this a 2-bar diagram. It feels like it's a 1-bar diagram right here. So I'm going to draw one single length. And then it says Robin eats 1/6 of the bag. So I know I'm going to have to cut this entire thing into 6 pieces. And this is the piece that Robin eats. It says Stacy eats half of what is left. So we see that we've got 5 units left over. So a nice easy way for us to figure out half is to cut each of those in half, which now gives us 10 smaller units. And Stacy is going to eat half of what is left. All right, so that's pretty easy. So that means Stacy is going to eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This much right there. Stacy is going to eat that much. And then it says we now have 85 grams of popcorn left over. So that means this right here is 85 grams. It says how many grams of popcorn were in the bag at the start. So that means our answer lives right here. And since we know that these 5 units is equal to 85, that means 85 divided by 5, which is 17. That means each of those little half units is 17. So this is 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, and it continues. All of these are 17. except this last one, technically it's 34, but I'll cut it in half and make it 17 as well. 17 on each of those. So we now have, let's count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 copies of 17. So 12 copies of 17 is our total answer. I don't know. Let's see. 12 times 10 is 120. 12 times 7 is 70, 84. So the answer is 204 grams of popcorn at the start. And now for the doozy, the big one, the big enchilada, the challenge question. So we have a box of fruit that contains apples, bananas, and cherries. So we've got 3 characters going on right here. Apples, bananas, and cherries. It says 40% of the fruit are apples. The ratio of bananas to cherries is 5 to 7. There's 56 more cherries than bananas. Okay, oh my gosh. So let's get started with those 3 bullet points right there. So I know I have, let's see, where am I going to do this? Oh, let's do this right here. Okay, so I've got apples, bananas, and cherries. And I think the key that's going to help me get going is the ratio of bananas to cherries is 5 to 7. So that means there's going to be 5 units for the bananas. And let's make that perfect. All right. And then there's going to be 7 units for the cherries. All right. So there is our bananas and there is our cherries. All right. So there's our 5 to 7. Now I go back to read that 40% of all the fruit are apples. So 40%, that means I am currently looking at 60% of the fruit. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these 12 units is equal to 60%, which is 3/5. So that means 4 units is 1/5. Another 4 units, oh, let's just circle them. So these 4 units right here is 1/5. These 4 units are another 1/5. These 4 units are a 1/3/5. That means the 2 remaining fifths, which is the 40% of apples, is 8 units. So I am going to just go backwards and say I need 8 units to represent the apples. Wha-bam. So I now have, let's get that cleaned up here. There we go. I now have the first 2 bullets taken care of. 40% of my fruit are apples. The ratio of bananas to cherries is indeed 5 to 7. And then it says there are 56 more cherries than bananas. So that tells me these 2 units right there is 56. So that tells me each 1 unit is 28. All right, so now it says some apples are given away. And now I don't know how many I'm going to cross off, but I'm going to cross off some of these. And it says now 20% of the remaining fruit are apples. Okay, so now if we get to the point where we're crossing off some so that only 1/5 of the fruit are apples, that means these bananas and cherries must be 4/5. And since that's 4/5, that's 80%, right? So that's 80%, which is 4/5. So that means these units have to be chunked into 4 equal-sized groups. All right, so let's do that in green. So I could see 1, and then, I don't know, let's do these 2 plus this guy way down here is a second group. And then I can see these 3 right here is a group. And then these 3 units right here is a group. So there is my new 40%, which means my 20% being apples is just 3 units. So that means how many apples did we have to give away? It means we had to give away this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So when it says how many apples were given away, our answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. 5 units. But remember, each of those units is a 28. So 5 units times 28 is 140 apples, is how many apples were given away. Beautiful, beautiful problems. We had our elementary, our upper, our middle, wrapping it up with our challenge. Folks, the point of this Tape Diagram Tuesday is for you to experience these problems, but don't just solve them using plain old numbers and abstract thinking. I really want you all to focus on practicing week after week on how to visually represent these problems using tape diagrams.